Welcome to the Cell Guru Show. Very excited to bring the show to you because we've got the next generation of what will make sure that our phones will absolutely and totally move on to a whole new level. That is the brand new Snapdragon 888. Yes, just announced. What all can it do? Why is it a game changer? And why will every single phone totally and absolutely change? We'll go through that. We've got two great phones for you. The Vivo V20 Pro. Yes, from the V20 series. The Pro series has come in with two cameras in the front and a whole lot more. And we've got the Moto G5 5G. Now both phones are 5G. One of them, the slimmest 5G phone ever. The other one, the cheapest, most economical 5G phones ever. And both phones have something really good. They are absolutely and totally no compromise. I mean, if you're buying into 5G, you still get the best of everything else. And of course, we've got our incredible deep look into our phones and the kind of thing that we actually are using every day, but we don't really think about. That and a whole lot more happening on the Cell Guru Show this week. And of course, the big news that came in this week was Qualcomm's own summit, where the next generation of Snapdragon came in, the 888. So how does this change things? Is it as big a leap as it normally is? Why did they change from the naming convention of 855, 865? Why is this not called the 875? That and a whole lot more analyzed in our news section.
Take a sneak peek into the future with the latest Snapdragon 888 chipset. Why is it not called the Snapdragon 875? Well, that's because following the typical naming convention wouldn't do justice to the huge improvements that the Snapdragon 888 brings to smartphones. The Snapdragon 888 is Qualcomm's entry into the 5nm processor technology. It promises an improved image sensing platform that can transform mobile photography and improvements to the low-light infrastructure. That means phones will now be able to shoot photos even in near darkness. Gaming will also be enhanced with Qualcomm introducing variable rate shading on the new chip. This means rendering times will be reduced and mobile gaming will be even smoother. Qualcomm also promises better connectivity on the Snapdragon 888, and with the world moving towards 5G, the new chip has a modem that supports both millimeter wave as well as sub-6 5G for faster data speeds. There is also support for global 5G multi-SIM. The new Snapdragon chip will hit the shelves in early 2021, with companies like Xiaomi, Realme announcing that their upcoming flagship smartphones will reap the benefits of the advancements of Snapdragon chip.
Let's move on now to our top review. This is the Vivo V20 Pro. Now, let me just set this story a little. First and foremost, Vivo very well known for the fact that they do extremely good looking phones. This is great. Number two, they do very slim phones. This is the slimmest 5G phone you can actually get. And in the Vivo V series, the biggest deal is always going to be camera, video, photography, lenses. And in every which way, that also comes out very, very well. Great camera and optics in the front and the back. Front, two cameras, two lenses out there. Plus, of course, it's got that incredible and very, very nice auto eye focus feature too.
If you ever felt like you weren't getting the best selfies or your phone's camera was not performing to its peak, Vivo has got the answer for you. The newly launched V20 Pro is a photographer's delight, but other than the camera, has the phone got enough wow factor, especially for a very competitive price of Rs 29,990? Let's find out. The V20 Pro takes another stride ahead of the regular V20's excellent cameras. Visually, the V20 Pro has a similar camera array. The 64 main camera on the rear clicks some stunning images in daylight, and the dedicated night mode means that low light shots have a lot of detail and exposure in them. There is an 8 megapixel secondary lens that can click ultra wide shots and a 2 megapixel sensor that shoots super macro shots. Over on the front is a 44 megapixel dual camera that has the eye autofocus technology that Vivo has highlighted in the V20. The sensor manages to capture enough detail and the selfies look great. The eye autofocus tech is fast and works brilliantly. The screen on the front is a very good looking 6.44-inch AMOLED display. At just 7.39 mm thick, the phone feels amazing to hold in the hand, and it's lightweight too. Despite such a sleek body, Vivo has put in a respectable 4000 mAh battery in the V20 Pro. While that doesn't scream flagship grade stuff, it does come with a 33-watt fast charger in the box that can top up the phone quickly. The fast charging can come in handy as the V20 Pro can also be a gaming phone. It has a dedicated Ultra Game mode which optimizes the settings for enhancing performance while playing games. All this is powered by the Snapdragon 765G chipset, which is a 5G enabled chip, and the 8GB RAM inside the Vivo V20 Pro. The phone runs smoothly and holds its ground with heavy usage throughout the day. There is an in-display fingerprint sensor that is fast and reliable. However, one thing we surely missed was the earphone jack on the V20 Pro. On the software side, the phone runs on Android 10 out of the box with Vivo's FunTouch OS 11 skinned. This is a largely clean skin with no ads and an overall smooth experience. There is 128GB of onboard storage with no option to expand that. The verdict is, the V20 Pro can go toe-to-toe with flagships that cost twice as much. For the price of Rs 29,990, it is a great buy for anyone looking to upgrade to the 5G ecosystem and get a great user experience.
Let's move on now to our very, very in-demand segment for the experiences you deserve. And the experience you deserve and have been absolutely milking, especially in the last few months, has of course been streaming services and OTT. But have you ever thought what a huge role is played by your phone and especially the processor to make sure that experience that you deserve actually comes through perfectly? To many people, the story I'm about to share will make no sense. In fact, if you're born after 1980 or thereabouts, you won't be able to relate to this at all. That's why sharing this is so important. This is my story from my childhood. I used to sit down with my entire family on Sunday to watch the latest movie on Doordarshan. Yes, people actually used to watch that channel at one time. Plus, another must-see was all the newest songs on a special show called Chitrahar on Wednesday nights. Those were the days when DD was the only channel available on TV. Think about that. A single TV channel compared to all that we have right now. Like I said, many won't be able to relate to this at all, but you can imagine it, right? So much has changed over the years. Now we have hundreds of TV channels and content is produced in every language. And with the advent of the internet, we have witnessed a massive shift in the way we consume this content. We've gone from consuming daily soaps and shows on the big screen in our homes to watching content even on our smartphones. 2010 to 2019 has been a defining decade for over-the-top platforms. We've seen the rise of Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, and so many more platforms. Our viewing patterns have also dramatically changed. We now watch whatever we want, whenever we want, on our own terms. But what really makes us prefer OTT over TV? Now, one of the big reasons for this shift is because of the pandemic. With so many of us stuck at home, we subscribe to so many of these OTT platforms and now engrossed in them that we now watch content while even on the go. Another factor is that this content on these platforms is very different from what we've been watching on TV before. Shows that go deeper into a storyline and move away from the typical TV style of delivery. With so many of us switching to watching content on our smartphones, these devices also need to make sure that they are perfectly tuned in order to deliver a compelling viewing experience. Content is of course king, with the current audience rejecting a show or a movie almost instantly if they don't like it. Too many choices means there's no place for mediocrity. But what most people reject even quicker is a show that looks absolutely poor on their smartphone. Content that doesn't play well on a phone can be due to many reasons, including the chipset inside, the graphic processor, the screen, the display, the viewing angle, the colors, the resolution, or even poor network connectivity. What's even more annoying is that some phones just don't support certain formats of video playback, and that means you can't watch all the content that you really want. The need of the hour is a smartphone that is perfectly tuned in all ways for a great viewing experience. A smartphone that has a great processor will mean that it can handle anything thrown at it and will also support all the necessary video formats to give you the best viewing experience. With its expertise in creating one of the best mobile platforms, Qualcomm is one company that is working for its consumer and aiming to give them the best smartphone experience possible. Today we'll talk to them and understand how our viewing pleasures are enhanced by the technologies that are inside our smartphones. So all of us are using all this technology and we are, like I said, consuming more content than ever before. So we decided, let's find out from you what you think about all this consumption of so much of video on a smartphone.
If I'm out somewhere, I can watch it on the go.
You are watching the program absolutely uninterrupted.
Watching something on TV is more like you are just watching whatever is being shown to you.
The brightness level, the screen, the display.
If a phone has a good internet connection, it can give a good streaming experience.
Uninterrupted viewing, not many advertisements.
The processor is very important in a smartphone.
It is the one that decides the quality of the stream.
Having HD content means that video is more clear and I can see more details on my phone.
When we watch HD, then there is more clear pictures.
If you are watching HD, so the experience and the clarity which you experience in HD is much better.
I prefer full HD, at least full HD.
We'll start off with talking to Aitak Biber, Director Product Management, Qualcomm Technologies Incorporated. Thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you here. I'll start off with my first question. What are the essential ingredients that actually go on for making a good video experience on a smartphone?
Hi. Good connectivity, higher screen display resolution and screen size, realistic audio features, video codecs. All of these need to work perfectly. Even if one isn't up to the mark, your experience is affected. In our fast-paced life, watching movies can mean breaking away from set of routine, something that's becoming increasingly difficult. With televisions becoming increasingly affordable and OTT services exploding with rich content, entertainment now waits for our convenience. Technology has evolved to create immersive experiences on a smartphone. This means that best video, audio streaming, and battery efficiency all come together within an individual personal space to help them tune out from the external world and lose themselves in the story they are hooked onto.
So how does Snapdragon actually enable these experiences?
Snapdragon incorporates leading cellular and Wi-Fi connectivity, support for aptX providing immersive audio, display resolutions up to UHD at high frame rate, and a set of hardware-based video decoders managing video streams efficiently. Nowadays, smartphones are able to bring alive stories and visual detail through efficient display technology in image processing algorithms. They drive engaging audio with audio codecs that are designed with consumer preferences in mind. The perfect combination of rich natural color and captivating audio makes binge watching a truly immersive pastime. Qualcomm's rich list of IPs such as power management chips, audio codecs, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth support for seamless networking and connectivity, and support for high-resolution rays enables a true cinema-like experience. The next time you binge watch your favorite series on your smartphone, take a moment to pause and acknowledge the hundreds or thousands of technology innovations that come together to make this happen.
Great. So what is the reason you have hardware-based decoders on the Snapdragon platform?
Decoding a video stream received from content servers can consume significant power when performed on a general-purpose CPU. The Snapdragon engine has specialized low-power, hardware-accelerated video decoders that are optimized for power and performance. The whole idea is to provide a superior viewing experience to consumers without draining the phone's battery. This ensures consumers can watch videos for longer durations. Since creating an immersive experience is such a complex affair, every aspect of it must be perfect. For spectacular video delivery, audio quality and display refresh and calibration, a vast set of codecs and algorithms need to work seamlessly. Since entertainment is such an integral part of consumer behavior on a phone, offering a dedicated hardware codec frees up main processor for other critical tasks. It's a basic rule of computing that you have optimal experience when the load on general purpose CPU is always kept below a threshold. Offloading processor load to a purpose-built video circuitry improves performance, enhances efficiency, and ensures a very high quality of experience with video.
And to find out more, we spoke to Gaurav Rakshit, COO, Woot. Thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you here. I'll start off with my first question. Now, lots of people have started to consume their content on a smartphone on the go. What role is played by a processor in enabling a good experience on the phone?
You want to make sure that the quality of the experience that you're delivering isn't hindered because of things like frame rate rendering and things like that, which could make the video jerky or possibly out of sync if it's not able to process. I think that's kind of the role of a processor or other parts in the device. People just expect them to work seamlessly out of the box.
What challenges do you face to deliver better quality content?
As we start to penetrate lower and move into different strata of consumptions, audience strata that is, we're going to have to be able to respect every type of device that's going to be there consuming video. So I think that's going to be challenging in the years to come. It's still early days yet as we move into that world.
Now, in the future, what could change this experience? What do you look forward to should actually happen?
Data speeds, I think 5G is around the corner. I think that's potentially the next real big disruptor in terms of how data will be consumed at the device level. And I think that can definitely afford step jump.
We'll take a quick break right now on the Cell Guru Show. When we come back, lots more. Another new phone from Motorola is our other top story, the Moto G 5G. Now, there's something very consistent about Motorola. Everybody loves Motorola because of the fact that they do great hardware, very well-built phones, the software is amazing, absolutely clean. But what they're also doing is they're bringing in features at price points that others are not being able to touch. For instance, this is the most economical 5G phone you can buy. And the other features, absolutely no compromise.
If you've been in the market for a future-proof smartphone under 20,000 rupees, you're in for a treat. Veteran smartphone manufacturer Motorola is back with its latest smartphone, the Moto G 5G. Sounds complicated? The phone is so named because of its support for 5G networks. In fact, the Moto G 5G is one of the most affordable 5G smartphones in India. Intrigued? Let's take a closer look. The Moto G 5G takes a purpose-built approach towards design. The phone might not have a head-turning aesthetic, but the build quality is solid and reassuring. At the front is an HDR-compatible 6.7-inch Full HD display that looks excellent both outdoors and indoors. In fact, watching multimedia content is a rather enjoyable experience here, though the lack of a high refresh rate or OLED panel is a bit of a bummer. At the front, elsewhere, the polycarbonate construction is finished in a glossy back which attracts a lot of fingerprints. However, the phone includes an IP52 rating for protection from dust. You win some, you lose some. Unlike some competitors, the phone does not include an in-display fingerprint reader and employs a rear-mounted fingerprint reader instead. We found it to be perfectly fast and effective at unlocking the phone. The real magic, however, lies under the hood of the Moto G 5G. This is the first smartphone to launch in India with the Snapdragon 750G processor and is paired with 6GB of RAM. This processor is optimized for gaming, and that's exactly what we observed in our tests. The clean Android 10 build helped, and if performance is what you crave, the Moto G 5G is definitely one to look at. Talking about software, the phone has a nearly stock build of Android 10 on board with Android 11 coming shortly. Flipping the Moto G5G over, the phone has 3 cameras at the back, a 48 megapixel primary camera, 8 megapixel ultra-wide sensor and a 2 megapixel macro sensor. Photographs in broad daylight look excellent and the Moto G5G captures nicely detailed images with limited noise and excellent white balance. Low light imaging isn't too bad either, but you will need a steady hand to capture decent looking images. The ultra-wide camera trades a bit of a detail for the ability to capture wider scenes. Finally, the macro camera does a good enough job but has too low a resolution. We were quite surprised by the 16 megapixel front camera as well. The phone captures evenly exposed images, though it has a tendency to brighten up shots. Keeping the phone going all day long is a 5000 mAh battery. Juicing up the phone, however, takes a fair amount of time since charging speeds top off at 20 watt. All in all, the Moto G5G makes some fair omissions to hit its 19,999 price point. The Moto G5G offers an excellent and comprehensive package that delivers on its promise and remains competitive on battery life and performance. Recommended.
That then was the Cell Guru show for this week, but lots happening next week. And of course, we are very, very close to that big year-ender, year opener that we have. 2 special shows of the last phone standing. Watch out for the announcement.